Hello everybody, how are we all doing? It's me, Mr. Flynn, and we're back here for round number 4 at the lovely circuit of Bahrain for the F2 lot today, season number 11, and I believe we've got everyone in the lobby. I'm not too sure, I think we have, but we're just waiting on the green flag from, I believe it's either Suffocating or Mr. Maverick themselves, and they'll do the good old ready to go with the green check. And we can get going here at Bahrain. What a lovely circuit. And I believe it's our first our first nighttime circuit. That's what I meant to say. Not street circuit, because we had a street circuit. And hello, Mr. Mel. How are we doing, buddy? And welcome to the stream. But no, I'm very excited for this one today because Bahrain is one of my absolute favourite circuits within the F1 games. As you can see in the bottom left, we've got a one-shot qualifying and then 12 laps of a lovely sprint, and then it's 16 laps within the featured race. And some more information and brief detail of the circuit itself. It has a total of 15 turns, which is always lovely to see, and 3 DRS straights. Your first DRS straight is from turn 15 down to turn number 1, and then you got one out of turn 3 up to turn 4, and then exit at turn 10 as well. That very tricky left-hander where I believe we might see a few drivers lock up there. But yeah, turn number 10 all the way to turn number 11 is your third lovely rear wing DRS zone, which yeah, is lovely to see. So hopefully we should see some decent ballsy overtakes maybe in the S section of sector 2, turns 5, 6 and 7, as we're getting green flag confirmation from the game. And as always, we can crack on and see what we can do. But yeah, just tuning in, a warm welcome to you all. Get ready for some lovely racing action. So we should be getting going in a few moments time. We normally give the drivers about 60 seconds within their game, whatever you call it, so it gives them time to load in, apply their setup, you know, stuff like that. And that's not ideal for Chin. They have left the session, so they might miss out on the qualifying, which isn't ideal. So yeah, that's not great, but they've got a race, 2 races to fight back within the qualifying session. So we'll see how they do and how they commence with that one. But yeah, gonna wait until we get to the track and see how it goes and see who we are riding on board with today. But as well, if you'd love to get involved and be a part of the Phoenix community and also a part of the F2 lot, which is actually on F123 at the moment, you can probably guess why with the F124 current status of the game itself. But yeah, if you want to get involved with the F2, Discord link should be down below, and there should be a Discord link in the description. Come and join Phoenix today, be part of an awesome, fantastic league community. Offers a lot of stuff actually, like WRC, ACC, Asetek, many more different leagues, which I believe you guys would absolutely love. But now, as we set eyes and look forward to qualifying, we're on board with HC, I'm going to go the name of, making their way down to turn number 1 now. Late on the brakes as they possibly can be, which we love to see there. Keeping it, you know, nice and stable so far. Just going to turn it up a bit on my side of the game so you get to hear the engine noise just a little bit more, but they are quite quiet within this game. But let's go on board with them, and I'm pressing the wrong buttons already. This is a good start. Anyways, we'll forget about the buttons and all that stuff for now, and we'll set eyes to see how they get on. And so far, they're not doing, I'd say, too bad. Making their way out of turn number 8 towards 9 and 10. Turn number 10, a very tricky left-hander where they've got to try and get the car stable, but they do drift it. And they're currently sitting in P6 at this moment of time, which to be honest, isn't actually that bad. You've got the Tatus in P1 at the moment, followed by Robin McQueen down in P2, and then Suffocating up in that P3, the final podium position of that. So keeping the car stable, no invalidations just yet. Nice tidy little lap. Probably had a few mistakes left, right and centre, which wasn't ideal. A little bit wide out of turn number, I believe that was 13, but you're going to run wide there. It's a very tricky corner to get right, but now making the way out of 14 towards 15 now. Keeping the car nice and stable, using as much of the exit curb as they possibly can. They're going to make their run down to the start and finish, and they're going to go P4. That's not a bad lap time there. That is not bad. That's a very competitive lap time from HC. I believe one of our newest members that has joined Phoenix today. And that is your grid for today's race. And surprisingly, P1 all the way down to P number 6, all within a second. And the top two, Robin McQueen and Tatus, are separated by a 10th, which isn't actually too bad. So those two could be quite competitive and quite aggressive on track today. Suffocating in P3, about 4 tenths away. Not ideal. That's not what he'll want to see, as he's our current championship leader so far. So he's got quite a lot of work to do. And then HC P4, a 1 minute 41.997. It's not a bad lap at all. So we could see them probably get in the mix of the top 3. So we'll see how they get on in this race today. And whilst we're waiting 60 seconds, I'm going to turn up my game audio because it did sound a little bit quiet when I was trying to get it through OBS. So we're actually going to make a quick technical change. Hopefully that technical change will sound a little bit better. And I won't get distracted and I won't get sidetracked of what's going on, shall we say. Because, as we all know, we can't be getting distracted. Got to keep 100% focus on what happens here at Bahrain today. Got to see what our championship leader Suffocating could do as well. Could he make it another win, extend his championship? I believe he leads only by 20 points. And I believe we're nearing the end of the season. Not just yet. We've still got a few more races. But I believe it's 3 more to go. So technically, you could possibly say halfway through the season. But let's have a quick look and see what is going on, shall we? Have a see whilst we're waiting. I'm trying to keep an eye out as well. Okay, so we're not even halfway through. Well, actually, no, we say we could. This is our halfway mark because after this, we've got Great Britain, USA, Mexico, and Brazil. So halfway-ish a little bit. But now, for the sprint race this evening, we'll look to the 5 red lights. And it's going to be lights out. And away we go. And it's a very good start by Brizan. Maverick trying to figure out which way to go. He's probably going to try and go around the outside at turn number 1. Almost 3 wide. But now he goes into the lead and then loses quite a few positions by going a little bit too deep. And that allows Brizan and James to sneak through. Obviously, Brizan's still staying in that P1 spot for now. But James sneaks up into P number 2. As we look to the back of the grid, there's 3 wide at the moment. So we're going to try and go on board with that and see what the hell is going on there. And that's HC making his way up into P7. Actually, he's lost a few positions on the start, and that's Notar getting up into P6 and Tiki Dog as well getting up into P5. And not a very bad start by Tiki Dogs as well. It's a very good start for him, so he'll be very delighted and happy with that one. To choose started on pole position. Obviously, the good reverses within the sprint race, and now at the moment of time, he's currently in P8, and he'll try and find a way potentially to get by HC when he can. And actually saying that, trying to go around the the inside, actually, should I say, and unfortunately couldn't get that move stuck. And he's going to try once again, I believe, as he makes his way down to turn number 11. No, he doesn't. He stays behind for now. I thought he was close enough to get the move done, but it looks like he wasn't. And Suffocating already, making a move around the outside. Oh, there's contact between Mav and Suffocating. That is not what you want to see for our championship leader, who now finds himself behind his rival this season. It's going to be the one and the only Wobbie McQueen, who's up into P6 now. Suffocating at this moment of time is all the way down in P number 1. Definitely not ideal. Had a very good opening first lap, but halfway through that he had a bit of contact with Maverick, and a result of that, that's cost a bit of damage, and it's him down in P number 8 now. So he's made a position past the Choose. He's now going to try and get position done. A HC maybe late braking into turn number 1. He looks to the inside line. HC will have the better outside line for now. Wheel to wheel around the outside he goes, and up into P7. Next on his list is Wobbie McQueen down in P6. So we could see those two come together. Maybe we'll see what happens with that one. But Choose as well, trying to come back at Suffocating for P number 7, but Choose may have to conceal here, but he's still going to keep it going wheel to wheel between these two. Down in sector 2, they're still going at it wheel to wheel. Late on the break, Suffocating does. Choose is a little bit later, but HG as well gets involved in the action, and him too trying to make position up on Suffocating, and he does. Up into P8 he goes. Suffocating losing 2 positions, but now once again back into P8. So some lovely battling we're seeing here, and all this battling is costing the gap to Wobbie McQueen right now for that DRS detection zone as it gets enabled on lap number 3. But so far, it's looking good. Actually, right on board with Suffocating, managed to find the button this time on the keyboard, which is very handy, and he's got a lot of work to do. So we'll see how he gets on. But what's actually quite good is the top 2, Brizzen and James Mustang, have a gap from P3 about 3.7. So those two somehow, I'm not too sure what's happened there, but they have ran away. They have like obliterated and disappeared into thin air, you could say now. We're on board with, I believe that was Tiki Dogs, who was trying to get a move actually done on Wobbie McQueen, who's now up into P5 as Brizzen sets the fastest lap of a 1 minute 46.357. Suffocating is still stuck in P8 at this moment in time, looking to get some more moves done and dusted very, very shortly as we ride on board with Tiki Dogs in P6. Wobbie McQueen are right ahead of them, as Tiki Dogs actually could be under pressure here from Choose, trying to go around the outside, and he does get the move done. Choose now up into P number 6. Can Suffocating get involved in the action here and try and make his way up into another position? He's going to go for it, late on the brakes, up the inside at turn number 4. DRS enabled. They're still going to be side by side into the S section. Who's going to give this one up? They're not going to give up without a fight. Suffocating inching forward, a bit of contact there between them two, but at the end of the day, from my point of view, that just looked like hard racing. And now Suffocating up into P7, and his rival Wobbie McQueen not far away, and isn't really making much progress at this moment in time. But there is a gap, I believe, of 1 second. It was up by 1.1, but it's now up to 1.3 as he goes off track, trying to rejoin safely, and that really wouldn't help him. So we've got someone actually making a position. That's going to be Wobbie McQueen once again, up into P4 now, getting past Notar. Next on his list is Mr. Maverick, and if the 2 lead drivers, you know, keep swapping position left, right, and centre, it may only be P3 that Wobbie McQueen could only go for, but don't count him out. He's a very quick driver in F2, so anything could happen, as we see to Choose. So maybe trying to get a move on Notar here for P5. We're right on board with him to see how he does. Out of turn number 15 now, down to turn number 1. Which way is to Choose the Frenchman? Which way is he going to go? And at this moment in time, he's not close enough. He's actually going to go down the inside, late on the brakes, a bit of a lunge, up the inside, gets the car stopped. Bit of a squiggly moment there. But wow, what a move that was. Up into P5 he goes. Next on his list is Wobbie McQueen. But the car there getting all very unscalely, you could say. Now it's going to be, I believe, Nortar with the DRS going up the inside once again. This is not what Choose would want. Bit of contact is made between them two. Wheel banging at the latest, at the most. And those two still going at it, fighting side by side, is really going to help out Mr. Suffocating, which is really reeling him back, you could say, into that DRS detection range, and some more positions up for grabs. So there he is in the background, Suffocating, now on the back of, I believe that is Notar. And as we look to the forward to the sector grid, we have got Robin McQueen at 6 tenths, 4 tenths behind Mr. Maverick himself, not able to get past him just yet. Wow, lots of action happening here tonight at Bahrain, and we're only on lap number 4 out of lap number 12. So, lovely stuff we are seeing here this evening. Let's see if we can keep this going, as we have got someone who's returned to the lobby, and that was Chin, who's all the way down in P10. Unfortunately, won't be scoring any points because I believe in the F2 format for the sprint, it's the top 8 that will score points. So Tiki Dogs at the moment, and Chin not scoring points at this moment of time, which definitely is not ideal. But now we've got someone fighting up front. I believe that's Mr. Maverick and Robin McQueen going at it wheel to wheel down to turn number 1. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Maverick will go later around the inside. Bit of a lock up there for Mr. Robin McQueen. Tiki Dogs has retired in the pit lane. He has had enough, and he'll be back hopefully in the featured race himself. Maverick does try to get a bit of their exit down at turn 1 from that lock up there from Robin McQueen, but nothing he can do. Robin McQueen sails on by and is up into P3 now. Will he try and close the gap to the top 2? Maybe try his best, but we'll see how long those hard compounded tyres do last, because we know the wear here at Bahrain is significantly, I believe, quite low on F123, and it's quite more on F124, but I could be wrong. I can't remember 100% if it's high tyre deck circuit, but who knows? Only time will tell. We'll see who starts to struggle later on, as we see suffocating right on the gearbox of Notar for P number 6. If he gets a really good exit here, which he is close enough for striking distance here. Depends what the straight line speed is like as we ride on board with suffocating. Gonna go up the inside maybe? No, he's not. He's gonna set sail for P number 7 for now, and unfortunately there Maverick has lost the DRS completely to the one and the only Mr. Robin McQueen, who's now trying to set eyes on that P number 2. Maybe James Mustang may slow down for his teammate, and they may swap positions as Robin McQueen is in a championship fight, but we'll see what happens. Team orders could come into play here. On the exit though of turn number 15, suffocating still unable to get by at this moment of time. Maverick has really lost a lot of pace here somehow, some crazy, shall we say, some say how crazy it is to lose DRS and then lose so much pace. It's just like, what's going on? As we see Chachu up into P4 now. So can he try and close the gap down once again, back to Robin McQueen to get back up into the podium paying positions? But it's all starting to calm down now. I didn't realise, but Chachu's actually got a time penalty to his name. Going to be 3 seconds, so I don't see it building in, I don't see the timer building within 3 seconds. He's gone purple in Sector 1. Not sure if the game's lying or telling the truth there, because we all know what F123 was like with the sector times and the sector readings. But we'll see if Maverick can hold on here. And it looks like Tachus is really pushing hard now to try and close that gap down to Robin McQueen. Under 2 seconds. The gap is now 1.9. Can Tachus close it up? Can he do his magic? Can he? Let's find out what kind of pace he's got in that car today, as he goes way too wide there. And I believe someone in the background that was Notar doing the exact same thing that Tachus was doing, which definitely isn't ideal. You don't want to get, you don't want to start getting penalties and racking up warnings, because if you do that, it's going to put yourself out of contention for the points, which you don't want. Trust me, been there, done that. Not a great thing. So, with it all starting to dial down, just a little bit, starting to, just chill out with everybody else. Patience is starting to kick in, starting to relax a bit more, as we see Suffocating, who could actually get a move here on the driver up front, but maybe not, as they got a decent exit. But they had a bit of a moment, I believe, almost running into the back of Mr. Maverick, which definitely is not ideal. You don't want to run into the back of another driver to cause yourself some wing damage or something like that. But now, how the tables turn, Maverick has lost a second. And is out of that second to get that juicy rear wing open. So now he's under threat from Notar and Suffocating. This could be interesting. Because the Choose is just gone. The Choose is pushing on hard. As you see, Robin McQueen at 2.2 now is the gap to the top two. Robin McQueen is absolutely flying. He's having a stellar race so far. Stellar race. But we'll see what happens here. See what happens as Suffocating. Look at that. So much more grip, so much more confidence on the car as well. Right now, on the gearbox, so much of Notar. Down into turn 14 and 15. He's not got to go for the move. But if he gets a really good exit, which he's close enough, but then just loses out, as Notar gets the better exit, loses out once again, and now the gap should realistically stay the same because they both have DRS, so they both have similar straight line speed. But it isn't enough to gain on the car ahead, which is Mr. Maverick. A bit of a tap in the back. You see there from Suffocating. Someone is off track, and that's Brisen. Brisen has spun round at turn number 3. That's definitely not what he wanted, and you don't want to see that as well. That is crazy. At this moment in time, I believe that's High-Tech in the lead. It's a High-Tech 1 and 2. That is great stuff there from James Mustang, and Bob McQueen could rack up some big points here in the sprint race. But Brisen, a day that he'll want to forget in the sprint for sure. Not ideal. Not ideal. Anyways then, back on board once again with, you know, the top 6th, 5th and 4th. Maybe P7 reaching in here, reeling in them, you know, reeling them in slowly, shall we say. Isn't able to do much at the moment. This is really our close on-track battle at this moment of time, as we see Bob McQueen within a DRS range, actually, of James Mustang. So if team orders are into play, they may switch, which is quite good, you could say. Switch. Bob McQueen gets the nice points in the sprint to close down the gap to the championship leader. Suffocating going to go up the inside, actually, at turn number 14, where you don't normally see moves happen, but gets really bad momentum, and then Notar squeezes on by and back into his original position of P number 5. So at the moment of time, Suffocating had P5 and then lost it on the exit of 15, down to turn 1. DRS is enabled, starting to get feisty, starting to get really frustrating. Really frustrating, shall we say. Suffocating will not be happy with that one. Trying to get maximize his points, best points as he possibly can, and at this moment away, it isn't going in his favour at all. You know, it's just, saying that someone's going for a move, and that's not Suffocating. That's going to be Notar up into P4. Now, these two could get interesting. Mr. Maverick as well, both wheel to wheel into turn number 10. Oh, is it going to be a Fernando and Hamilton moment? It is, actually, but it almost was. Notar tried to go for the switchback there, but was unable to get it done. These two, they're just going at it, fighting left, right, and centre. Suffocating, if he was leading, he could be running away and chasing after Choose, really, for that P number 3, as he has a 3-second time penalty to his name at this moment of time. If Suffocating finds a way through, he'll be really happy with that. But also, it could be really frustrating as well. Probably starting to irritate him as we want to lap number 10 now. Lap number 10. Both high-tech drivers within DRS range of each other. Probably not going to put up much of a fight. James may just let Bob McQueen go here, and he does. Down to 10-1. There's less than by, which is good teamwork there between those two. So they may just trade the DRS and see how they get on down towards in this race, etc. But now, Look into these two. Not much is happening. Still stuck. Still stuck in a train. So it's not a good day for suffocating at the moment. Trying to find a way through, but is unable to get that move done. The gap now, though, is 4.2. And it is increasing, let's say, corner by corner, straight by straight. So what I'm trying to say is if that gap keeps increasing, they're not going to get P3 on that podium. And we all know here, realistically, that suffocating is the fastest driver, but is stuck behind two drivers who are fighting it quite hard on track, you could say. But now, to choose in P number 3, almost heading towards the penultimate lap of this race, lap number 11 out of 12, very, very shortly. He's within the DRS range and attack stage where he can fight P1 and P2. But there's a big but to it. The only problem is he's got a time penalty to his name. And with him having a time penalty towards his name does mean he will drop down to P3 once again. As at this moment of time, it's a bit of a hard one because, you know, he'll get P3, but he'll want to get the race win. He'll win it on track, but then he'll drop down, obviously, to P3, which isn't ideal, but he'll be safe on P4 as those two are fighting really, really hard. And there's nowhere, you could say, for the top 4th, 5th, and 6th, maybe 7th as well. There's nowhere they can go because, you know, they're all fighting quite hard and they're all stuck in a bit of a train. So there's not much I can do. To choose that, get a bit squiggly. Oh, there's contact. There's stuff happening behind finally. And that's suffocating finally up into P5. Now actually getting past Maverick. So I wonder if Maverick and Notar had a bit of contact, had a bit of, you know, wheel to wheel, bargy. And yeah, not very happy, would say. Potentially Mav might not be if, you know, Notar went for a dive into turn 1, potentially. Who knows? But let's see now what their true pace is like. Can suffocating get the DRS, fly by Notar, head towards the last lap, and then out of somewhere, push, and maybe get P3. It's a bit of a push, it's a bit of a margin, but we know it's been done here before at Phoenix. So, see what happens. Hopefully, it will be a good finish, hopefully, because it would be nice, do you know what I mean? But we'll see what the margins are like towards lap number 12 we go now. All still in a nice slivery, you could say, train. I would try and pronounce it, but my body or my brain won't let me pronounce it because what can I say? It's just absolutely rubbish. So yeah, there's not much I can do about that. But to lap number 12 we go. Not much is happening. If we look to P3, P1, P2, yeah, they're all keeping their calm, keeping their chill. Oh, there's contact. There is contact. Oh, they're now 3 wide at turn number 14 and 15. There was contact there between James and Rob McQueen. Teammates making contact, making bargy. Oh my goodness, this race just turned into absolute chaos and dramatic. Rob McQueen down into P2, but provisionally in P1 with Tachus having that 3-second time penalty. What on earth happened there? James misjudging his braking zone, tapping the rear wing there of Bobby McQueen. Oh my goodness gracious. What have we just seen there? If he had spun around there, that'd have been... that'd be crazy, to be honest. That would have been absolutely crazy. That would have been... you know, probably his whole world falling apart, but now Suffocating needs to get this move done. He needs to make a move up into P4, because if he gets it done, he will probably be in range of maybe a possible podium here if they start fighting really, really hard and really, really hefty. But let's see what happens. At turn number 11 now, not the impression he would want to be making at this moment of time, not having the pace, not having the momentum, but the gap is 0.4 of a second. Can he make a cheeky move up the inside somewhere? He's going to try it. Hopefully, if he gets a good enough exit, he has got a decent exit, to be fair. He'll set into the rear wing as HC down in P7 does get a 3-second time penalty to his name. But as we look to the rest of the front of the grid, Tachus will win it on track. But Robin McQueen back to the top step of a podium, winning this race, shall we say. Tachus finishes in P3, James Mustang into P2, Notar into P4, Suffocating P5, Maverick P6, HC P7, but that's risen up into P7 with that penalty applied to his name, and Chin finishing it off in P number 9. What an absolute dramatic turn on events we just had there. Chat. That was insane. Because I've never experienced big contact like that in F2 for a while. And I mean, for a very, very long time. But there is your top 3. Rob McQueen taking the win here in the sprint, P number 1. And then it is, I believe, Jay's Mustang in that P2, and to choose finish it off in P3 with a 3-second time penalty, but managing to hit the gap to what he needed. So he'll be very, very happy with that indeed. We could have had a look at the results there, but the game was like, no, we're going to skip on to the next round and the next part of the sprint weekend, which is obviously the one and only, the main race itself. So let's see what happens here. Do we get any more dramatic events like we just saw right now in the sprint? Let's see what happens. We're getting going shortly in around about 60 seconds. So do bear with at this moment of time. And yeah, patience is key. Love the patience here. We love it indeed. If you are loving the content here at Phoenix and you want to get involved, Discord link is down below as well. Hit that follow button if you'd like to be a part of what you see here on the channel. And you too could also get involved, you know. You could get involved. Because why not? Be part of an awesome community, you know. But here we go then. The 5 red lights here for the main race itself, the feature races. 5 red lights, it's lights out, and away we go. It's a very good start then at Fortitude. So we've got on board with Suffocating. He's trying to go maybe 3 wide. Going to back out here and let Rob McQueen maybe go down the inside here at turn number 1. And they all make it through nicely there. I see in the background Maverick getting involved there. Maybe wheel-to-wheel barge contact between Prison and top 2 now. As to choose forwards and makes his way up into turn number 4. Still going to be able to wheel. Bobby forces him wide and he's back up into P1. Suffocating, trying to get involved in the action here. Hopefully no more mistakes from Suffocating. So got to do the best he can really, because he's to score as best points as he possibly can. But now James Mustang trying to hold this one around the outside, then a HC, and he does get the move done up into P number 4, HC down to P number 5. Now Notar trying to get involved in the action here. No move up the inside at turn number 10. Maybe tried to look there, but couldn't get the move stuck. The top 3 may just run away, but we'll see what happens. We see someone trying to go up the inside there, and I believe that is Notar on HC, and he is going to get the move done after the P5, and HC drops down once again to P number 6, which he will not be happy with. And someone actually going around the outside that could be potentially off track, or not too sure. Chin up to P6. HC now dropping down to P7. Losing quite a lot of positions here, I've just realised. Lots of positions. Oh, they are quite close there to contact. That was very, very close for the front wing itself. 146.138 is the fastest time and is what's going on right now. And as we see, Suffocating up the inside at turn number 1, late on the brakes. Oh, he's trying it, trying to get the best of momentum and better exit. A bit of a switcheroo maybe. And he does look like he might get the move done here. They're now wheel to wheel as they make their way up to turn number, I believe it is 4. Late on the brakes for Choose. But Suffocating, trying to fight this one around the outside. Wheel contact once again is forced onto the curb there. Into the S section now. Oh, he's looking again. He's looking. He's trying to get the move done. But the Choose doing some excellent defense. But with those two fighting, Will McQueen is just able to make that gap bigger and run away, which definitely is not ideal and not what he would want. If that gap starts to increase, to Choose will be very, you know, wanting to get back to the race lead and win it on track and not have a penalty towards his name. But let's see what happens here. Suffocating, gaining. No DRS enabled until lap number 3. As we can see, some of the drivers are kind of struggling to stay with the top 3 at the moment. James Mustang is one of them. About 8 tenths is the gap between himself and Suffocating. Now 9 tenths. So they are really starting to pull away, which could lead to some trains beginning to form up here at Bahrain, as James is now, you could say, out of a second. He will not get the rear wing open if he's not within a second. Look at that gap. It's 1.1. It is increasing lap by lap and corner by corner. Not really lap by lap, but you get what I mean. You get the gist of it. As we make our way down into turn number 1, out of turn number 3 now, and that gap is 1.2. As you see, Mav, oh, wing damage, wing contact, and that is HC and Maverick. What on earth has happened there? I can't really tell, but I saw Mav go deep or something, and, you know, bit of wing loss there, so bit of a hefty contact there as we see. Yellow flags, but now wing damage is not what you want here at Bahrain. Check on board and Mav and see what kind of damage he has got. Once the helicopter cam gives us a better angle of that wing. Doesn't look like it is. Oh, he's got a wing, so HC is the only one who's come out worse than that, which definitely isn't ideal. Maybe ran into the back of Mav. That could be potential of what happened. Right then, back to your race leader. 2.1 is the gap, and he has ran away. He has, you know, left the field completely. Suffocating is down in P3, still within the DRS range. Off to Choose. Maybe just conserving his tyres here, maybe. But we'll see. We make our way out. Turn number 15. DRS has been enabled this lap, which means they will get that rear wing open as they make their way down to turn number 1. No one's really close enough to make a move. I mean, we Suffocating depends what his straight line speed is like. And that looks really, really good. And he's not going to make the move yet. Into turn number 1 we go. Out to number 3, maybe? No possible move done just yet, but Notar, maybe he could get a move done. 2 Red Bulls, you could say, making their way out turn number 4, keeping it nice and tidy, keeping it nice and clean. Yeah, don't really say much about those two, do you? Just off they go, racing on. Could maybe work together as they're on the same team and try and get up into P4 by trading the DRS. You know, who knows? That could be what they need to do to get closer. Obviously, looks like they're within range, but maybe just to make it better, you know, why not try and get within DRS range? But we'll see. Trade the DRS. And then you got what you need. There you go. Right, P3, Suffocating. Trying to get up into P2. 2.3 is the gap to P1, so P1 is probably pushing hard on those soft compounded tyres, which you want to do. But, you know, they are potentially controlling the race pace at this moment of time. So whatever they're going to do, people behind will push on their tyres and burn up a little bit more quicker than Robin McQueen. But now, down to turn 1, Suffocating, is he going to make a move? No, he's not. He's going to wait. Again, P number 4, though, is going to Notar. Getting past James, actually. Up into P4 he goes, and James down to P5. Definitely not ideal. Now, Chin in P6, but is 2.2 away. What is he going to do in this tough desert heat? Maybe push a little bit harder. Who knows? Try and help the team and get some more points. And you could say score big points. Now, maybe Suffocating, I've just seen here, is starting to struggle on his tyres potentially, because look at the gap. It's like 0.7 to 0.8 of a second. Maybe to choose to start to push a little bit more and show a little bit more pace in that car. And as you know, he's like creeping up. He's gonna, you know, 1 minute crank up a little bit quicker, slow down just a tiny little bit, and then crank up again and go absolutely obliterated fast, obliterate the field, and you know, job done. But all that we can do is wait patiently and wait for something crazy to happen. Hopefully, won't be long. But gaps are really starting to open up here. But I do know that Ron McQueen, I believe, he is a bit of a fan of this track, which I ain't gonna doubt. It's not a bad track to race on, as I said earlier. I say it's not a bad track. I love this track so much here on F1. So, you know, so many corners, tricky corners, stuff like that. That's what I like. It's a bit of a challenge as well, shall we say. I think the easiest track on F1 probably have to be Monza. Monza's got to be one of the easiest tracks on the F1 calendar. But if you're watching, you are allowed, you know, you are allowed to prove me wrong if you think I'm wrong in any way. You know, do let me know what you think is better. Do let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. James Mustang, though, is still staying within range of Notar. Maybe just struggling on his tyres a bit as that gap has, you know, creeped over 1 second at the exit of turn number 11. He isn't within range. That's not good. Well, he's back in range now, but it's going to be a bit of a, you know, cat and mouse game. Can he get back into that range? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens there. Suffocating in P3. Still staying with the juice here, which is lovely to see. And we do actually see a move. My apologies. It was actually in the pit lane, so it's not a big move, but that's P10 in the pits. And they're making their way out onto the hard compounded tyre, getting off those softs. And we'll see what kind of undercut they can do. Let's see here. As they exit the very long, lengthy pit stop, as they make their way back onto the track in P10, scoring 1 point in the features race. See how they get on. Hopefully they get on just fine. But now, surprisingly, look at this. Suffocating has lost the DRS completely 2 to 2. Now this gets interesting. This gets very, very interesting now. We're going to see how this one turns out. And he's now back within a second. So maybe that's just a bluff. Maybe he was just trying to scare us on stream. He thought, if I drop under a second, I can make the commentator really, really scared here. And he's done exactly that. It's okay. He's back within range. He can crack on and try to pursue for that P number 2. Maybe he'll box this lap, maybe. Who knows? Oh, never mind. My prediction is correct. He's in this lap. He's in. Probably should I go for the undercut, maybe? See how powerful it is as an OTAR as well. Makes it into the pit lane as well. James Mustang into the pit lane. 3 drivers are in. But where will they come out? Probably behind P number 9. So clear air, clean air. That's what they want to see. Onboard is suffocating. As Mav goes through. HC goes through. And now Chin. Has he boxed too early? Has he gone for the gamble when he shouldn't have? This pit lane is very, very long. There he is in the background. There is Chin. Is Chin going to get ahead of anybody here as they exit the pits now? I believe it's going to be a no. It's not going to be his day so far. And he stays stuck in P number 10. But, you know, he's 2.1 away. He's got, you know, hotter tyres that are warmed up so he can try and get back into the range of James Mustang. We'll see how that will do and how that unfolds. Only time will tell. Suffocating though. He's going to try his best on his outlap to try and maybe overcut or undercut, shall we say? Sorry, undercut to choose. Maybe Rob McQueen try and get that gap down just a little bit more, but we'll see what we'll see what the outlap is like, because that's how crucial the outlap could be. So, let's see what happens to the top 2. And they do respond. They do make their way into the pit entrance. And Tachus is going to do the same. He's going to make his way in. Ah! Excuse me. 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane is going out to Rob McQueen. That is crucial for this race. That'll be Hail Mary. Good news to suffocating as the top 2 do box onto a set of the hard compounded tyres. Rob McQueen as well onto a set of the hard compounded tyres, but there's a bit of lag involving in the game itself as Tiki Dogs gets into the pits and Maverick as well into the pits. Where is suffocating? There he is. Is he going to get ahead of Tachus? That is the main question. There's Tachus on pit exit. Here comes suffocating. Tachus will be ahead just for now. But the question is, the big question I want to hear and I want to know, who's going to be better on the hard compounded tyre? And is Robbie McQueen going to be able to build a 5-second gap to choose? That is the big question. Is that going to be a possible? Only time will tell, as I keep saying. Could say my new favourite word. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens. 3.3 is the gap. He's got to get 2 more seconds to make it a lovely safe zone. But now, suffocating, maybe just woken up and thought, you know what, if I get into choose here, get in range, I could take off some points off my championship rival. But let's see what happens here. As Prison is into the pits, HC staying out another lap, probably hoping for a safety car. Rob McQueen will be benefiting though from that tow. No DRS, however, but is benefiting from a tow. But this ain't great because HC here maybe if Will McQueen can't get the move done, but does have the DRS, is HC going to fight this one? They go wheel to wheel. HC goes a little bit wide, and there's no way he'll have the momentum and the grip to handle it. And Rob McQueen, with that DRS assistance, is up into P number 1. But to choose is 2.2 away from HC. But it isn't over just yet. As they say, it isn't going out without a fight to the death. 6 laps to go here for the main race itself, here at Bahrain, under the lovely hot sun desert. To choose 1.9 away from HC, and is trying to gain lap by lap, and so far it is playing into his favour, but he's still got a 2.1 second gap to Rob McQueen. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he will be taking the win here at Bahrain, unless Suffocating has anything to respond with. Himself too could be in a chance, in a gasp, to maybe win this race if he gets close enough to Tachus, as well stay close enough to Tachus to get a position up on Rob McQueen. Only time will tell. Oh, did Rob McQueen go a little bit deep there at turn number 1? I don't think so. No, he had a good exit, so that's probably just me thinking that. But now this is not going to help to choose one little bit. This stuck in between a car and himself, which is HC. This is really going to hold him up. Look at this. Look how slow HC is going into these corners. And oh, what a move in the S section by Tachus there. And that has maybe just helped Bob McQueen just a little bit. 3.8 is the gap now between the top two. Still not 5 seconds. Still not enough to be safe. But laps still go at Bahrain around this lovely, tricky circuit. 4 seconds is the gap now to Tachus and Rob McQueen. If Tachus could just get back into that mindset and just back into that little mojo and try and close that gap down once again, then it should be an easy, smooth sailing course for himself. And look at that, Suffocating up into P number 3 now. Nearly said P number 2, but getting my words and myself muddled up here. Into P3. HC still yet to box, I believe. Yeah, still yet to box. Probably hoping for a safety car, which is patience as key. But look at this, I've got a move from Mr. Maverick going against Tiki Dogs for P number 8 this race. And Tiki Dogs, you know, not much he could do defending from that one, but now actually might get the DRS, and he does. Maverick under pressure. Down to turn number 1. Oh, it's almost 3 at Brest. Oh, that was scary. But Mav, with some excellent defending, as Tiki Dogs is down to P10. Brisen in P9. Having that spin in the sprint, and now down in P9. Not a good day for him. A day to forget about, shall we say. A day to forget about. But now, what is really interesting that I've just seen, right? Look at this. Suffocating. 2 points. 5 away from Tachus. At this moment in time, he's not within striking distance on getting one up on Rob McQueen to take points away from him. It would only be Tachus at the moment, as he's within 4.3 seconds. So, on to lap number 13 we go now. What kind of pace have these drivers got? And saying that, it's happened again to Rob McQueen. The same lag issue. It's suffocating. Finds his rival right in front of him. He's going to go for the move down to turn bomb, but does back off. That is really unfortunate there, but Web McQueen does go quite deep. And around the outside, suffocating. Bit of wheel contact there, bit of bargy. Oh! That was something you don't see every day. That was quite sketchy. That was quite scary. Once again, Rob McQueen having the same issue like he did in Singapore, I believe. Having that big lag spike, and he's dropped down to P number 2 to choose is 2.8 away. Now, what on earth is going to happen here? Rob McQueen, 5-second time penalty to his name. He is surely going to be fuming and not happy with that one at all. Because that has really invited suffocating back into, you know, DRS range. But that is really unfortunate there. Really unfortunate. You know, Rob McQueen thought he had it all settled today. He was building that gap nicely, lap by lap, as we see someone get a HC as a 3-second time penalty. In Brisbane having a bit of a spicy scrap for P8 this race. Oh. Was trying so hard to go on the outside there, but just ran out of room, ran out of space. We've got some crazy battles going on here. That's absolutely crazy. Oh, here goes Brisbane. That's to lap number 14 we go. Someone is in the pits, and that's HC. Finally boxing to get off those old tyres. There we go. Lap 14 out of 16 as Brisbane and Mav are going at it once again. And at turn number 1, these two just cannot get a break. When they meet on track for sure. Look at that. Going at it, lap by lap, is absolutely crazy. Still wheel to wheel in the S section. And are still going at it, suffocating. Maybe just about to lose the DRS. 2 seconds. Alright. 2 seconds is the gap to Rob McQueen and to Chus. What's going to happen is Mav does go off track. So he might have to give that position back, and he does. If he doesn't want to, you know, gain a lasting advantage, he does give that back. Right. Let's see what happens. 1.1. Suffocating will not get the rear wing open this lap at all. The penultimate lap of this race does begin, and as it stands, Suffocating is within striking distance of getting another upper hand on Rob McQueen for P number 2 this race. Let's see what happens if any more drama unfolds. Only time will tell. 8 tenths, 9 tenths, Suffocating is back within range of the DRS. Does he get the rear wing open? No, he does not. But let's see how good he is in Sector 2. Late on the brakes, Maverick up to P7 once again. These two going at it at turn 1. They just can't stop, can't they? They can't stop. They're like, it's like they're glued together. Once they fight, it's to the end and back. It's to the end. Look, still wheel to wheel. Bit of bargy contact once again. And now it's Prison up into P7 and Maverick down to P8. Not much to say there as we see Rob McQueen trying to break the toe in everything to Suffocating. Let's see though, is that all that Rob McQueen's got as penalty wise? 5 seconds. Chin as well, 5 seconds, I didn't realise. Yes, drama, lap after lap, racing action, overtakes, lap after lap. It's all going on. It's absolutely crazy. But now, to the final lap of this race, Chachus leads them across the start and finish once more this race. Let's see how they all get on. The afterburners are switched right on. They are on. And they are very much active as they can be. So, all making it nicely. Out to turn number 3. Towards turn number 4 we go. And once again, all very nicely there. Not much I can say or do about that one. We go on board a Maverick and these two. They're going to fight it out for P7 this race. No penalties awarded to them just yet. Damn. Either Chachus has made a really big mistake or Wood McQueen has found some pace in that car, because look at the gap. 1.8 to suffocating. Wow. It just goes to show how much pace he's got in that car and how much risk he's taken in that car as well. Really goes to show. I believe Mav is running out of time here. He is running out of time to get this move done, and I believe he may have to concede for P number 8. As we go on board with the man himself, Chachus, rounding the final corner of 14 and 15 as well. My apologies for getting that corner. He'll cross the line to take the win here at Bahrain for the feature. Warren McQueen will come home in P2, but a 5-second time penalty, unserved penalty, will drop down to P number 3. P number 4 going to Notar, and then P number 5 going to James Chin. P number 6, Brisen. P number 7, who was actually trying to go into the pit lane there, and Brisen up into P6. Mav P7, Chin P8 due to a penalty, Tiki Dogs P9, and then HC, who will make their way through the last couple of quarters very, very shortly. And that will be the end of round number 4 for the F2 here at Bahrain. A bit of a drift there for HC, which you love to see. He'll cross the line, and that is that done and dusted for this evening. So there you go. We are done and dusted. We are done. So, if you enjoyed that round today, round number 4 here at Bahrain with Phoenix Sim Sport, make sure to hit that follow button and keep up to date with all the content that happens here. And as always, chat, I will see you very, very nicely in the next one. But don't forget, live here tomorrow for ACC Racing and the lovely track of Watkins Glen. Make sure to tune in for that one. That'll be live around about, I believe, 3:30. No, 4:30 in the UK. Stay tuned for that one. And apart from that, it is me, Mr. Flynn, signing off this evening. I'll catch you very much in the next one. Bye bye.